Hello? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let's get this started with the song that I always used in the other stream, if I could get it to play here. Can you hear that? Have a little dance party while we're waiting for everybody to show up. Hello, everybody. I can see so many comments here already. Let me know. Can you hear the music? Can you see me? Can you hear me? It's no use walking back to find. If you want more than to stay alive, come on over, we can make it through. Hold my hand, I know just what to do. We're just hanging out here, having a little dance party, waiting for everybody to get here. This is one of my most favorite songs that I've ever used in my videos. Into the morning light, into the morning light. So many happy birthdays, so many herzlichen Glückwünsches. Thank you so much, everybody. Like I said, we're just going to listen to the song for a little bit, let everybody get here, and then we'll get started answering questions, talking about fun things. I have some questions for you too, so we're going to get this going in just a minute or so. Hold my hand, I know just what to do. We stayed up until the morning light, the morning light. Into the morning light. Anybody else singing? You must know the words by now too. I've used this song so many times. It's not over yet. This is the lyrical dance break in the middle. Feel the music. Drop your head and roll. Anybody watch So You Can Think You Can Dance? At the stars in the sky. Thanks everybody for coming. We're going to get started in just a minute. We're starting out with a dance party. I'm dancing in seating. I'm dancing in a seating position, which is just fine. Hold my hand, I know just what to do. Oh, I better take the other one of these out, huh? What do you think, in or out? I think in. They're going to bug me if they're out. Into the morning light. Into the morning light. This is my drink. It is a XXL Cosmopolitan. So everybody, thank you so much for being here and hanging out at this part of my birthday with me. It's 7:30 in the evening here. I've had a great day so far, and I've been looking forward to this all day. Oh, some other music is playing. Hold on, I have to stop this immediately so it doesn't get flagged. Oh, okay. Yes, so many are here already. Thank you so much. Queetby, Timothy O'Connell, Peter Kessel, Lovely Amethyst, Michelle DeGroot, Carol Carter, Susan here, Timothy. Oh, I can't go through all the names already. Please forgive me. But thank you so much for coming. Like I said, and I am so happy that you're here. I've been looking forward to this all day. Like I said, what have I done today already? I woke up. I I edited videos. I did a load of laundry. I went and played tennis with a friend of mine. We had a great time. I did not win, but I felt like I played really well. And then I came home and packed my bags. Marcus and I ordered fancy gourmet hamburgers for takeout tonight. Can't go out to eat. Nothing's open. And then I unpacked my presents, and now I'm sitting here with you. And I can see, oh my goodness, there's already a super chat here. It's from, okay, sorry, I'm still getting used to this way that the chat works. It's from Martina Joseph, or Martina Joseph, thank you. And I have this sound tonight as well. Howdy. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful birthday present. I'll drink to that. Superstarian knows how. Asks, what did you have for your birthday meals? For breakfast, I had a chocolate flavored Cliff Bar. For lunch, I had cheese and crackers. I can't believe I just admitted that. But it's my birthday. I had cheese and crackers for lunch. And for dinner, like I said, Marcus and I ordered sort of gourmet burgers. Mine was veggie burger. Marcus was a meaty burger. And we got fries with it as well, and had some really tasty chipotle. I don't want to call it chipotle mayo because I don't think it's really mayo, but it's a creamy chipotle dip that tastes fantastic on French fries. Oh, look at all this, Timothy O'Connell. All those cakes and ice creams, and what are those? Olives. Thank you. For anybody who has been to a lot of my live streams, the software that I was using for the very first like 4 or 5 live streams that I did around Christmas and New Year's, I don't know, for some reason it just started, there was some update or something, and then all of a sudden I couldn't get it to work right. It was more frustrating than it was worth, and I was paying for it every month, so I canceled that subscription because there's no use paying for something that, you know, I'm not going to use and just frustrates me anyways. One of the nice benefits of that software was that I could pick out comments and show them on the screen, and I can't do that. I'm just using like the normal YouTube studio here, so I can't do that here, but I can definitely talk about him. Like for instance, Cheryl Solomons writes, "Hi Morgan, I'm from South Africa. Excuse me, love your videos and your sense of humor. Thank you so much." It's like fall in South Africa now, right? Have you had any chilly temperatures yet? Fatima writes, happy, ooh, so happy birthday to you. May God bless you with many more. Stay safe and healthy, and have lots and lots of fun. Celebrate. Well, let's play this up again, please. For anybody who's missing it, I also have the good old. So I have a question for all of you. My flight leaves tomorrow at 9:10, so 10 past 9 in the morning, which I think is a pretty good time, meaning I have to get to the airport by like 7:30, which means I have to get up at like maybe 5:30, earlier than I usually get up, earlier than it's like, you know, really comfortable to get up, but 5:30 for me is still better than like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. And one question I wanted to discuss with y'all is, are you willing to pay more money to have a flight that leaves later so you don't have to get up at like 4 in the morning? Have you ever made that decision? Have you ever like been looking at flights for something and thought, okay, well, there's a really inexpensive flight, but we would have to get up at 3 in the morning. So let's take the more expensive flight because we can sleep until, you know, 5 or something like that. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Jeff B 1650 writes, one of the few phrases I remember from high school German is, wann hat Gisela Geburtstag? So alles Gute zum Geburtstag, Morgan. Thank you very much, Jeff. Yeah. Did you ever find out when is her birthday? Stacy and Edward saying happy birthday. Andrea saying happy birthday, guten Morgen. Michelle, happy birthday and have such a great cruise. Dream to discover, happy birthday. This first time I get to be here for a live show. I'm so happy you're here. And there is another Another $25 super chat here from Susan Cavalieri. Susan, let me play this for you. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to me. This is already turning out to be a fantastic time. And like I said, I'm glad you're here. Cheers. So back to my question. Michelle writes here, I like the early flight just in case it runs behind or is canceled and I have to get a later flight. That's a really good point. I didn't think of that. Of course, if you are like at the airport right away early in the morning, you have, the entire day to look for another solution if something happens with your first flight. So that's why I love these chats, and that's why I love doing what I do, because I would have never thought of that, and now the 100 or thousands of people that watch this are going to think of that too. So Michelle, thank you very much for that tip. Superstarian Knows How writes, I love early flights. I'm usually too excited to sleep, and it gets me to my destination earlier. Yeah. I get that. I can understand. Joe writes, yes, but my hubby, who I also know, has to be wherever we are traveling too early in the day. He likes to be there for midday, so if we go to Europe countries, then it's always an early flight for us. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I definitely like arriving at my destination, in the early afternoon or the afternoon. I really, it's really not fun to show up someplace, especially someplace you've never been before, at like 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? And then if your flight gets delayed, this happened to Marcus and I probably about 5 years ago. We flew to Orlando and we were staying for just one night at, I think, the Cabana Bay Beach Resort, Cabana Bay Beach Resort at Universal Studios. And and then our original flight was delayed, and so we didn't get our transfer flight. And then instead of showing up in Orlando at like 6 o'clock in the evening, we got there just before midnight. And so, there was no going to any restaurant in the hotel, no. Yeah, it couldn't have been Cabana Bay. It was Sapphire Falls because of the restaurant, I think. I don't know. Anyways, those 4 or 5 hours can really make a difference. And of course, if it's a really early flight, then that's a big plus. Oh, I got to keep up with the comments here. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying. Susan writes, I would take the early flight as well. It just starts your vacay that much earlier. I agree with that, and I can totally understand that mindset. The problem for me is I really don't do good if I haven't slept well. And I don't sleep well a lot, but what I mean is, like, especially, if it might be sort of a complicated travel experience, like everything is at the moment, with all these forms you have to fill out and all the QR codes you have to have in place and stuff like that. And if I've only slept like 3 hours and have had to get up in the middle of the night, I have a hard time thinking straight, and I get really crabby. And one thing I've noticed is, even if I'm traveling alone, I know that I'm getting crabby because in my head, I get so judgmental of the people around me. And that's how I know, okay, it's happening. You can be crabby by yourself too. Jeff B writes, I don't mind paying for a later flight in the morning, but I typically choose a late afternoon evening flight coming back. I don't really care if I get home past midnight. Oh, I would so much rather wake up at 3 in the morning on the first day, wake up, in my own apartment at 3 in the morning and get ready to leave. So much rather do that than wake up at 3 in the morning in the hotel on the last day. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely. If I had to pick, the one or the other, then definitely wake up early here and have a nice sleep out on the last day there. Heiko writes, do not forget to double check all the papers you need to get on the flight, enter Spain, and get aboard Aida Perla. Heiko, Why on earth would you say that to me? I'm like a professional traveler. I never make any mistakes. Wie wagen Sie es mir sowas zu sagen? How dare you say something like that to me? I'm just kidding. I'm joking because on my last trip, I did make some very silly mistakes. And I think maybe maybe one of them I could blame on not sleeping well, but the others I definitely couldn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I've missed something here. I've missed another super chat here. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I didn't get to it yet. I'm sorry. I need to scroll faster in the comments here. So this is a super chat from Fred's Model 3N. Thank you, Fred. Fred writes, enjoy a drink on board on me. I definitely will, Fred. I promise you, I will think of you when I order a drink. One difference between AIDA and the Mein Schiff, which is the ship I was just on a couple weeks ago, is drinks are not included. It is not an all-included concept. However, at least on our last AIDA cruise, in the buffet in the evening, beer and wine was included. They have like a house wine on tap and beer on tap as well. I don't drink beer with dinner, so I won't be having, I won't be really enjoying that. But I guess at the end of dinner, I could get a beer and take it with me. Anyways, I will be paying for my own cocktails on board, and Fred's Model 3N has just paid for one for me. So thank you so much. Fred writes, enjoy a drink on board for me. I follow you, Don, Tony, and Emma because you guys are awesome. Hope to cruise this year out of my home port, San Diego, California. Keep on being you because you crack me up. Take care. Thank you. I love stuff like that. I mentioned this before. I don't know if I was talking to you about this or somebody else. That when you work alone and you do, what I do, there are no performance reviews. I don't hear like the applause of the audience. I don't have meetings with my supervisor or manager. I just kind of keep on going and I look at the numbers and hope that what I'm doing is, the right thing. And so getting messages like this, it just warms my heart. Or maybe that's my XXL Cosmopolitan. Back to my question. Queen Beats writes, I absolutely hate early flights home. I'd rather be an early afternoon return flight. Bye, Joe. Thanks for coming. Say hi to Denny. Here's an interesting thing. I hope you are all looking at the comments. Like I said earlier, I can't put them on the screen with the software I'm using here. But when people send a bunch of emojis, YouTube makes me approve the comment. So I don't know why they think that's going to be a problem. So Juliet Collins, I have just approved your comment. Tammy writes, happy birthday. Hari writes, Morgan, I can't believe you're 47. You look 25. Hari, you silly boy. You mixed up the dates. I am 25. I look 47. That's okay. You're young. You'll get it right. You'll get better at, dealing with dates and numbers, just like I am when you get older. So let's move on from my question. What kind of questions do any of you have for me at the moment? As I think most of you know, I'm leaving for another cruise tomorrow, my second cruise of 2021. It is on the other German cruise line, AIDA. If you've ever, I'm sure that most of you have seen an AIDA ship. They're the ones with the big kissy lips on the front. The AIDA Perla is one of the newer ships from this cruise line. I've never been on it. It's a totally different, very innovative, very unique design. And I have specifically tried to not look a lot at, like deck plans and stuff like that, because I'm just really looking forward to getting there and exploring it and being surprised at what's around every corner. In a way, I'm kind of a kid at heart like that. So, like I said, what kind of questions do you have for me? Timothy O'Connell wants to know, what does AIDA mean in German? AIDA means the same thing in German as it does in any other language. It's like, you know, it's just a name. Is that something, is Aida somebody from Greek mythology? Yeah, it's just a name. It doesn't mean anything specifically. NGG23 writes, Morgan is finally younger than me. Yeah, isn't it weird? Oh, I'll be right back. There I am. Isn't it weird how that happens? I don't know. It must be the water here in Germany, or the crystal energy water I've been drinking on the Mind Shift. Christiane wants to know, hello, Morgan, what was in your presents? Well, of course, Marcus got me 500 different presents. I can't go through all of them. You know, I don't want to tell you about the Tesla he got me, even though I can't drive here in Germany. And I don't want to tell you about all the first class upgrades he got me, and, you know, stuff like that. I don't want to brag. But I'll tell you one highlight that I got, and something I'm really looking forward to using when I get back, is he bought me a tortilla press so we can make our own fresh tortillas, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I gave him permission to try it out while I'm gone, and so maybe I'll come back to a bunch of fresh tortillas. If any of you have any tips about making fresh tortillas with a big, like a heavy cast iron tortilla press, please send me a private message. Let's see, what else do we have here? Louise wants to know, what's in my Cosmopolitan? Well, it's the same thing that's in any Cosmopolitan. There is vodka in here, a special Hamburg brand of vodka. I can't read the label right now, but it's brewed in Hamburg. And then triple sec, which is like an orange liqueur, and cranberry juice. I should have put some like something sweet in it, sweet and sour syrup or something, but I thought I'll leave it out because I don't need those extra sugary calories. Cheers. Heiko asks, TUI, as well as AIDA, recently have announced cruises around Greece. Is that an opinion? I think you mean option for me. Absolutely. I would love to. I already was looking at the NCL cruises around the Greek islands that ended up, I think most of them have been canceled by now. But yeah, definitely. Looks fantastic. Jeff wants to know, can you get an electric bike tour? They did have electric bike tours offered. I did, however, take a normal, like a traditional bike tour. And actually, I've talked about all this in Sunday Sofa Time last week. I talked about all the excursions that I booked. So if you're interested in that and you want to know before I get back and start putting the videos online, then just watch Sunday Sofa Time from last Sunday. Omar says, Feliz cumpleaños desde San Juan, Puerto Rico, Morgan. Muchas gracias. I'm so glad you could come, and thank you very much. Yeah, as a few people here, Hippo and Ian are writing, Aida is an opera by Giuseppe Verdi. It's also an Ethiopian princess in Egypt. There was also a musical produced by Disney, written by Elton John, based on that story. Yeah. Hari says, Morgan, is it summer? I remember AIDA cruises have a bad pool. Well, the Canary Islands are off the coast of, I think it's Morocco. They're like by Morocco, off the coast of Africa, very close to the equator. And it's pretty much the same climate there all year long. So in the summer, it gets a little bit warmer. In the winter, it gets a little bit cooler, but it's going to be around 21, probably between 21 and 25 degrees Celsius, or like around, like 70, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So very, very pleasant. Let's see if I get some sun on my balcony this time. We know I didn't have much, if any, sun on the balcony on my last cruise. Just made a video about that. Yeah. Thanks everybody who's just showing up. This is my birthday celebration. There's no plan. I'm drinking an XXL Cosmopolitan. We're chatting about this and that. At the moment, I'm currently answering questions, and we're just having a good time. Joey B, Shane and I just got here late. Happy birthday, Morgan. Thank you very much. Sandra Kolb, writes, question, how many languages do you speak? First of all, before I forget, Sandra, thank you very much. So if you have a question, please begin it with caps lock question so it stands out in the comments. That's something that I think Emma always does too. So thank you very much. So to answer your question, how many languages I speak? It depends on how many cosmopolitans I've had. I speak German fluently with strange accent. I speak English. That's my mother tongue. I grew up speaking English. I worked in Uruguay in South America for about 6 months, and I learned so much Spanish when I was there. And because I stopped using it when I moved to Germany, then I don't really speak much of it anymore, but I can understand more of it than I can formulate, you know. Lovely Amethyst writes, I'm halfway to 50. Congrats. I know. I'm so happy to be 25 and just think, wow, in 25 years, I'll be 50. And you know what? I'm so looking forward to turning 50. That is just going to be so much fun. I can't wait to be 50. Oh, Cassie B, another super chat here. Let's do the air horn again. Thank you, Cassie B. I will have a drink on board for you or from you. Extra special thanks to anybody who, like I said, supports me on Patreon, who just comes back and watches videos, presses thumbs up. Everybody press thumbs up on this video right now, please. And after it goes online, even if you participated in this live chat, you can always just start the video once and then write a comment really quick about anything and then go away. That helps push it up in the YouTube algorithm, and that's a way to support me too. But yeah, you can also send me a super chat, a super sticker, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can support me at patreon.com/FairAndOfficial. You can buy something in my Amazon store. You can buy a towel, a t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to feel like this is working tonight. I just want to have a good time. Yeah, Rob R. Martin is here. Rob is also one of my newer Patreon supporters. And Rob writes that he speaks English, French, and Norwegian. I think that's great. And Rob has been using the time in lockdown to study these languages. And I think that's a great way to do it. And Rob and Yvette, oh my gosh, it's raining super chats here. Let's do one of these. And one of these. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Yvette. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so happy that, that we have this community here. Vanya wants to know, question, do you know which languages they speak on the AIDA cruises? Well, I am pretty sure that the official language on AIDA is German. I don't think that there are many people from non-German speaking countries who cruise with AIDA. And I assume that they also require at least one person in each cabin to speak German. That's the way it is on Mindshift. Connie Johnson, thanks for the laugh. Connie writes, happy birthday, moron. And then 2 comments later, she says, sorry, Morgan. Oh, that's funny. Lovely Amethyst writes, I speak English and enough rudimentary French that I could survive in France. I mean, oops, sorry, I just kicked the camera. Everything okay there? I'm excited to see your next cruise, and I hope you have a great birthday today. Yeah, I've been having a great birthday. The fact that we're sitting here and that there's so many of you here and we're just having a good time, that's a great way to sort of, yeah, the sun is setting outside. You can see it's almost 8 o'clock in the evening here. My bags are packed. I just need to do this and then relax for the rest of the night. And I don't need to do this. I want to do this. I've been looking forward to it all day. Who else has a question for me about the upcoming cruise, about anything like that, anything travel related, anything, you know, not too personal? Peter Kessler writes that he's turning 50 in July. Hoffentlich verbringe ich denn auf einer Kreuzfahrt. Well, Peter says, turning 50 in July, I hope I can be on a cruise. Go for it. Why not? Maybe one of the Greek islands cruises. Would that be something for you, Peter? Look at it. Another super chat from Andreas Nigaman. One more drink or two on the ship. I think that's probably enough for 3 drinks, unless, you know, what do you want me to spend it on? Should I buy like a bottle of champagne with it? Then that's probably 1 or 2, but I could buy 3 cocktails. Thank you, Andreas. Oh, what should I play here? We'll do one of these again. Play. Good acting from me, right? Oh, oopsie. Yvette wants to know, did I put the tags on my bags yet? Yvette. What kind of question is that? Like, I would forget to put the cruising tags on my bags. Me? Do you know how many cruises I've been on? That's like one of the most exciting moments, is finally putting those on your suitcase. Yvette, what a question. Of course I did. Duh. Insider, for all of you who don't watch all the videos of my last cruise, I actually did not. So, Yvette, the question is justified, and yes, I did. Juliet wants to know, how long is this cruise? It is 7 nights. Superstarian wants to know, is Dino joining you on the cruise, or is he on lockdown in Jersey? Yeah, I think Dino, Dino's on lockdown in Jersey. I don't think he's going to be joining me on this cruise. If he is, he hasn't let me know yet. Good night, Hari. Thanks for coming. It's 2 a.m., but if you don't have school tomorrow, I forgive you for staying up so late. Thank you for coming. So I had to look back here. AJ's Love for Life writes, thanks to Julia Child. And I was like, huh? But I looked back up here and it says, I speak English, basic book Spanish, and French food language like Julia Child. Jenny Martin writes, question, do you get allocated seats in shows or can you choose areas to sit? Every cruise I've been on so far since Corona showed up, you cannot choose your seat. You show up, somebody takes you to a seat, and that is where you sit until the show is over. Here's an interesting thing about AIDA that I can tell you too. Excuse me, after I take a little sip. I can't check in for my flight, which seems weird to me. I cannot reserve a seat. I cannot buy a meal in advance. They're listing the airline as Eurowings, which is a big, like local carrier here in Europe. They also fly to the United States. And if I take the flight number and my name to the Eurowings site, I can't, I don't have enough information to, sorry, there's a fuzz in the air here. I don't have enough information to do an online check-in. And on the AIDA website, when I go into my account and put in, my travel itinerary and all that, everything shows up. And when I click on reserve a seat for my flight, it takes me to another page that says, you cannot reserve or seats are not being reserved for this flight. You will get your boarding pass at the airport. So that just seems weird to me that I'm going to the airport tomorrow without doing any kind of online check-in or anything, but I'm pretty sure it makes sense to me that the reason they're doing that is because they don't want anybody to check in for the flight who doesn't have all the documents together. And as we know from my last cruise, it is very possible to show up at the airport and not have them all together. Excuse me, sorry. Louise Lantier writes, have a fun cruise. We are under strict stay-at-home orders here with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you're at lockdown orders. Here in Hamburg, here in Germany, we are still on a form of lockdown. No restaurants are open, only for takeout. No bars are open, only for takeout. Some of them are doing takeout, actually. The only place that you can actually go into, into a store are grocery stores or pharmacies, basically. And then there's a limited number of people who can go inside. A lot of people are still being encouraged to do home office, because most things are closed. There's a lot of people not working right now or completely out of jobs. And actually, travel outside of Germany is not forbidden, but it is highly frowned upon, is I think the way to formulate it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not forbidden. It's a possibility, but you're kind of not supposed to do it. But cruises are cruising, flights are flying, hotels are open, and I'm one of the people who is going to do it. Connie writes, I'll watch the whole video later. Battery is almost dead. Oh, you must be watching on your phone. Okay, well, thanks. See you later. Michelle writes, do you have to embark your cruise at a set time or do you show up when you like? Well, I understand that question because normally you kind of show up whenever you want, but this is all one package. So the flight that I'm boarding tomorrow is a chartered flight. The only people on this flight are people who are going to be on the cruise. And we fly from here to Dusseldorf, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's like we're going to go like that and be there. It doesn't even take an hour. And then we pick up more people and then we fly to the port. So there is really no, I couldn't pick out a check-in time or anything like that for the cruise either. We just show up when we show up, and the ship is only at 60% capacity, probably not even that. And so, yeah, to answer your question, I do show up at a certain time because that's the time when we all show up, I guess. Heiko's saying, in regards to a question from earlier, on AIDA, you can choose your seats. Once you choose your seat, crew members will make sure that nobody takes the seats next to you. That's an interesting way to do it too. Andre's got to go. See you later, Andre. Jackie B writes, would you consider taking the NCL Epic in October of 2022? Greek Isles and Mediterranean cruise, 11 days. I'm going and would love to do some shots with you. Are you trying to set up a date with me? I have a boyfriend. I'm just kidding. I think the Epic in October in the Greek islands and Mediterranean sounds fantastic. The Epic is now one of only 2 cruise ships that I've ever cruised with twice. I love just about everything about the Epic. I love the top deck. I love the water slides. I love the area at the very back of the top deck with that like separate pool. I love the gigantic casino. My first cruise on the Epic, we had Blue Man Group and Legends in concert. I love everything about that ship except for the bathroom cabin, the bathroom designs in the cabin, and cruising to the Greek islands and stuff like that. That sounds amazing. Whether or not I will be on your cruise in October of 2022, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to commit right now, but it's not you, it's me. Cheers. So I see some people are talking about the situation in their countries at the moment. Susan writes, most businesses are open now in Australia, but we still don't have any international travel or cruises. We have very few cases occurring. Those that do are from the quarantine hotels. Yeah. I hope things get back to normal for you also very soon. Laurel writes, are you going on the vlogger extravaganza in January 2023? I've been asked that question a lot. And at the moment, no, I don't have any plans to do that. But I think the people who are going to be on it and the people who are hosting it, I think that sounds like a great idea. And I got another super chat from Fab Trips. Fab Trips writes, happy birthday, Morgan. Glad you got the Canon G7X Mark III. Okay, here's the thing. I'm sending it back. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen in my Instagram story that I finally bought myself a vlogging camera. I talked about it. It's something I've never really had. I film most of my videos just with my iPhone and with a GoPro. And I just thought it was time to sort of do a little bit of upgrade and to get a few more options. But the thing is, this camera had a history of having focus problems. And Canon released a firmware update for it and said, this will fix all that. And I loved, everything about the camera. I love the way it looked. I love the way it was designed. I'm using a Canon camera right now to film this. So I know my way around Canon cameras, and I wanted to love this camera. I ordered it. It showed up. I played around with it for a day and a half and just realized that even though I love everything about its design, I cannot forgive how long, even after the firmware update, it takes to focus and how often it loses the focus. I filmed a Sunday sofa time with it too that will be going online this weekend. And I'm just sitting here like this, not moving, and it's going in and out of focus. And I think, no, sorry, I'm not going to spend 633 euros on a camera that cannot focus. So yeah, I love the design. I love the way it works. And I think if I was using it to take pictures, it would be fantastic. But I'm going to use it for videos. And so that's why it's all packed up. I'm sending it back. And I wanted to buy actually now a Sony ZV-1, but they're all sold out here in Hamburg. I couldn't get one. So the next cruise will be also filmed with my iPhone and a GoPro. But those videos have turned out really well so far as well. And I'm also looking forward to that too. So Nicholas Musial wants to know, when's the post-corona group cruise? Hell, I know. I was so looking forward to doing that. And now, of course, with corona, who knows? Who knows when that's going to be possible, and who knows how it's going to be possible now. But one of the many, many, many things that I'm looking forward to when things get more normal again is doing a group cruise and meeting some of you in person. And I think we are going to have a great time. Going back a little bit, Superstar wants to know, do you have any cruises scheduled with the American cruises coming to Europe? I'm going to talk about that in Sunday Sofa Time this week. So check that out. What else do we have going on here? So Fab Trips writes, no, I have the G7X too and was hoping to upgrade. Well, the people that have written to me and the videos that I've watched comparing, most people say the G7X Mark II is the better camera. So I would say for now, don't upgrade, just keep it. I mean, if you're happy with your Mark II, just keep it for now until something better comes along, or maybe look at some comparisons to the Sony ZV-1. Carrie Joy writes, I never knew you filmed with your iPhone and GoPro only. I never would have guessed. It looks so good. Well, thank you. This is it. This is what I use. Sorry, I was just looking at the messages here. I get so distracted. Jamie wants to know, are you on Shipmates? Can we friend you like Tony? I am on Shipmates, but I don't look at it very often. And in fact, Mindshift and I think AIDA are both not on Shipmates. So I haven't looked at it in like a half a year just because I couldn't, update my cruise count anyways. But technically I am on Shipmates, and if you friend me, I will friend you. So a lot of people talking about a group cruise here. That will be great. I'm really looking forward to when that can happen. And like I said, meeting many of you. We're going to be here for about 15 minutes more. For the people who are just showing up now, like Wild Heart Destinations, thank you for coming. We're just chatting. I'm answering questions. I had some questions for you earlier. If you're watching this in the future and not live, go ahead and comment on this. Please press thumbs up. Those are two things that you can do on every video to help support. People always say, please subscribe. Subscribing is something that you can only do once. Pressing thumbs up and writing a comment is something you can do every video, and it helps out every YouTuber. So just go for it. Jess wants to know, do I have a drone? Actually, that question, a few people have been asking me that lately, and no, I don't. I don't have a drone. You can't film with the drone on a cruise ship. You can't film with the drone at theme parks. So I just haven't gotten around to buying one. Marcus actually has one that he's used for his job, but it's never something that we've taken with us when we're traveling. Let's see here, what else is going on? Some people are saying that the video is getting distorted, but usually that's not anything that I can control. Are many people getting a distorted video right now, or is it just one or two people? Fred's model says, oh yeah, happy birthday, 27 again, bro? No, I'm not 27, I'm 25. Get it right. Jeez. I got another super chat from Brandon Fish. Crap, I'm way late. Happy birthday, Morgan. Well, Brandon, I forgive you for being late. Nobody's late. Everybody's gotten here at just the right time. If you're here, then you came at the right time. Thank you so much, Brandon. I recognize your name. I see you around here. I know who you are. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for the happy birthday super chat. Yeah, most people are saying that the video is fine. Some people are getting freezing and lagging. I think that happens with just about every live stream. We have a good internet here. I don't know how else to fix it. Joyce writes, she's going with Don to the Panama Canal. It was changed to April 2022. Bit concerned, as not sure how all of the other countries will be with the virus. Yeah, I mean, let's hope by 2022 that things have kind of gotten worked out. Who knows? Who would have thought that we would be in the situation we're in now for as long as we are? I really don't want to speculate. Another super chat from Jazz. Jazz writes, happy birthday, Morgan. Keep up the great videos. I love watching them. Thank you, Jazz. I love making them. And here, let's do one of these again. Thank you. Thank you. It's for Jazz, too. Jazz, this is your applause. Thank you. Okay. And we're back. And I'm having another sip. Oh, the sun it's getting a little bit darker. But, you know, I've already noticed that now here in the fall, that it's staying later, it's staying lighter, later, and later. And around in May, it'll be light out, like the sun stays out until like 10:30 in the evening, and the sun rises at like 3:30 in the morning. It's crazy. So who else has some questions? If you have a question, please write question in the comments. I'll get to a couple more before I say goodbye tonight, and then just zip up my suitcase and chill for the rest of the night. Marcus and I have started watching a show on Netflix called The Irregulars. Have you seen this? If you like Harry Potter, and if you remember the Bloodhound Gang from 3-2-1 Contact, who remembers that? Please let me know in the comments. And like, kind of like Silence of the Lamb and Sherlock Holmes, if you like a mix of all of those, check out The Irregulars on Netflix. Okay. FabChips wants to know, do you think the Eurozone will allow cruisers from outside the zone this summer? That's a really good question. I don't know. I mean, at the moment, they're very strict about only letting people on board who have been inside like the European Union in one of the lower risk countries for at least 2 weeks. And you have to prove it by proving like, you have to show like a work contract or, you know, your ID, your residency permit, stuff like that. Excuse me. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry. And I'm so happy that a few of you know 3-2-1 contact. 3, 2, 1. Digga, 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 contact is the reason, is the moment. Oh, great childhood memories, right? And the Bloodhound Gang. Who are these kids? Vanya wants to know, if daylight hours are so long in May, what are the daylight hours in December when they are the shortest? They are horrible. The sun rises, if it even does, at like 8:30 in the morning, and it sets, I'll be right back, and it sets at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, that's one thing. In the spring, we have like all this amazing long sunlight day hours, and then in the winter, it's all taken away from us. CK2D writes, my cousin acted on 321 Contact. She's a dentist now. Who was she, or what was she, like a recurring character in one episode? Let me know. Daniela writes, happy birthday, Morgan. It's a privilege to get older. Yes, it is. Thank you very much for reminding me that, keeping me humble. You know, I'm struggling a little bit with my age at the moment and just, you know, life passing by and stuff like that. But yes, it is a privilege to get older, especially at this time in our lives. We really shouldn't forget that. Thank you. Jazz writes, don't worry about Europe. By August, most people will have had the vaccine. Not here in Germany, they won't have. I'm sorry, Jazz, but I don't know where you live, but here in Germany, we are so far behind. We have just started vaccinating people 70 and older. So unless you have some kind of private connection, or you have a general practitioner who happened to land on a vaccine jackpot, like most people are not vaccinated here right now. I think I know 3 people of my very large circle of friends here in Germany who have been vaccinated. So I don't think that most people in Europe are going to be vaccinated by August. I'm sorry, but I think it might take longer than that. Okay, I want to go back here and see if CKD answers about 321 Contact. And if I miss it, please send me a private message. So a couple more happy birthdays here. Thank you everybody for coming. I see here Michael and Joyce and Vicky. Vicky says, I thought you were on a cruise for your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm leaving tomorrow. Today's my birthday. Cruise begins tomorrow. Lovely Amethyst says, I must get going, but enjoy the rest of your night. You're only a quarter of a century. You've got plenty of time. I know. I'm really happy to be 25. There's really no reason to, to complain. Robin Wood says, I forgot about that show. I loved 321 Contact and the Bloodhound Gang, and I think it got me interested in so many things, and I loved it because they often talked about physics, and when they talked about physics, then they always used roller coasters, and that was, yeah, I loved that. Denise writes, my grandma, over 80, has still to wait 2 weeks to get her first shot here in Germany. It will take an absurd long time for us younger people. Yeah, it's crazy. I always tell people that the healthcare system and the social system here in Germany is so strong and in many ways better when I compare it to the experiences that my friends and family in the United States have had. But this is like one huge exception. The vaccines here, the rollout of the vaccine here, much worse. And what Chancellor Merkel said recently, sorry, I know for the German people watching this, how awful that I said Merkel, but you know who I mean. She recently said, the thing is the United States, any vaccine made in the United States is staying in the United States. And here in the European Union, it's being produced in several countries, and then it's being like distributed evenly. At least that's what she said. That's how I understand it, and that's why it's a little bit different here. But I know there are also other factors that have led to it taking a little bit longer here in Germany. Yeah, Wild Heart Destinations writes, wow, in Washington, they just opened it up to anyone over 16. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's crazy to me when I think that here in Germany, we're just starting with 70 and older. Jeez. All right, it looks like we are done with the questions here. And I just want to say thank you again, everybody who came out tonight. I'm going to start the play off music here. Oops, hold on. Let me see if I can do it a little bit quieter. That's not gonna work. Well, I hope you can still hear me. I want to say thank you very much for coming to my birthday celebration. Thank you to everybody who gave me a super chat, a super sticker, and anybody who just showed up here. And we're gonna end this now with a little dance party. I can feel the groove in my bones. I hope you're dancing with me too. And tomorrow, I will be off on my next adventure, which I'm going to be taking you with me, and I can't wait to get back and show you all the fun things that I saw, show you this innovative ship, show you the excursions, more of the Canary Islands, and more of just fresh new cruise videos. We forgot to do a secret word. So in the comments now, somebody suggest a secret word for anybody watching this in the future. What's a secret word that they can write in their comments so we know they made it to the end? Okay, the secret word is contact. If you watch this video in the future till this point, then somehow write the word contact in your comments, and then we'll know that you made it to the end. Thank you. You stay up until the morning like the morning light. Into the morning light. Into the morning light. Into the morning light. Creepy, I love this song too. It's on Epidemic Sound. If you're interested in using this music, look at the link in the description below, epidemicsound.com. But if you sign up using my link, then I get a bit of bonus. That would be a fun birthday present too. Bye everybody. Thanks for coming. I hope you have a great weekend too. I wonder how many people in the future are going to have watched this whole dance break until the end. Good morning, light. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. I wonder if I'm dancing in the rhythm because of the delay. All right, that's it, everybody. Have a great weekend.